So what's on today? Well, I'm going to turn your digital world into analog. Well, I guess if you looked at the pictures when we started, you will have seen what it is that's under review. And it's a product that a lot of people could use, especially if you're a guitarist, but maybe not if you're even not a guitarist. Yeah, it could be used for 1,000 things. Anyway, this one, I bought it used off eBay from a guy in America, and it was quite difficult to get the thing organised, but in the end he did it and he got it to me, and he knows who he is. Yeah, so this is his pedal. It's now my pedal. I traded some sheep for it, and yeah. So what is it? It's one of them AnalogMan things. No, not the King of Tone. I've already reviewed that, and I'll put that down in the text. Yeah, so you can have a look at the King of Tone from AnalogMan yourself on a real review, as opposed to, well, something else. So here it is out of its box. It's an AnalogMan Chorus, and it's got its number on the back, and I think it's something like 1949 or something like that. There it is. There's a number of different models of this, but let's worry about that afterwards. What we're going to do is we're going to go and have a look inside at this hopefully wonderful piece of equipment and see the quality that AnalogMan actually makes. And you can make no mistake, on King of Tone it was perfect. It could be good on this one. We'll see. Let's go a bit closer and just yeah, well, I'll tell you what, before we go closer, let's just have a look what else is in the box. That's a good idea. Yeah, I've got a AnalogMan packing slip, the original one, to the original customer. Yeah, all good. Yeah, AM standard chorus, AnalogMan standard chorus pedal. Add depth option, normal depth, no dollars. So there, one US mail, blah blah blah. And the date of this was the 5th of the 12th, 2012. So my guess is this is 2012, which makes it near enough 14 years old already. Looks new, looks brand new. Anyway, more about that in a minute. You've got that. You've got the infamous AnalogMan sticker. You've got another thing here. What's this? The chorus pedal, a little history. Well, we'll talk about that later. Yeah, in fact, it'll be very useful for me to use to tell you about it. That can go back. And we've got some feet that have been taken off but aren't on the pedal. Don't worry about that. So let's pull this stuff back and have a look a bit closer at the AnalogMan Chorus. Yeah, well, there it is. It looks like you don't get much for your money, of course, but that's life. That's the way it works. But it is handmade, you've got to remember that. Now, they do have a couple of different versions of this thing with different knobs and things like that. You can see it's yeah, quite original and hardly used, which is great for me and not so great from the guy who bought it originally. He probably didn't get that much use. Who knows? But there it is. Yeah. And what we're going to do is have a quick ganders at the back. That's got a number on the back. It's probably got it inside too. So what I propose is we go and pull it apart and have a real good look. Well, there you go. See, when you take it apart, you get to see all the things that nobody would show you, or nobody ever does show you. Well, usually they don't. And yeah, you might say it's unimportant, but I don't think it is unimportant, particularly on an AnalogMan product. So what have we got? We've got, it says here, AnalogMan 1990, is that a 9? I think it is, 1999 it says there. 5th of the 12th, yeah. Of course it could have been the 12th or the 5th. Yeah, well, we'll figure that out one way or another. But it has got the 12 on the invoice, so I would say it's 2012. Yeah, even signed by the man himself, and it's got a little sun god in there. Well, that's what I think it is. You put in comments what you think it is. Let's have a look at the rest of it. Well, there it is in all its glory. Yeah. You can see that it's, well, I hate to say this, it's analog. Put together by Mike and the boys, with a few little chips in here. Well, you would have. It's analog. All very well made. There's not really a lot to see in there per se, but yeah, it's still quite well made. Well, it's very well made, considering they're handmade. You got to remember that. No machines here. These are done by real people, and I guess that's one of the reasons why they're usually so good. Made by real people, but you get a good view of what it's like inside, and I think that really is important when you're buying something that's handmade. And it's even more important when you buy something made on a machine and then somebody later tampers with it, as I have seen before. On this one, well, I can't see anything wrong with that. Can you? Highly unlikely, knowing AnalogMan as they are. Yeah, so that's enough on the inside. Let's go back. Okay, well, here we go. This is the outside of the unit. I thought I'd show you for completeness, really. We've got an in, we've got an out, we've got an on-off switch, we've got a very nice sun god, could call him that. We've got a speed of chorus, and we've got a depth of chorus. Got a little light that comes on when you turn it on, which it would. And we've got a 9-volt DC in. And don't forget, inside, you know it's got a battery, so we know it works off battery too. See, this is the thing about chorus pedals. You can only say so much about them. You can't really say much at all. Well, actually, you can, because AnalogMan and his wisdoms give me a little bit of history here, so I can spout some history at you before we move on. And I think it's important. You should be buying one of these for its history as much as its quality. And its potential for the future as well. We'll come to that later. Yeah, electro-harmonics. In the late 70s, they made, basically, what did they call it? It'll say down here somewhere. Yeah, it was a small clone. Was it? Yeah, it was. Small clone, one of the best chorus pedals ever made. Proclaims AnalogMan. And he should know, right? You think you're good. Yeah, well, he's better. This guy's been around. Basically, they put electro-harmonics out of business one way or another, and ultimately that pedal ceased to be the small clone. So along comes AnalogMan and thinks, wonder if I should make one. But that was back in 1998 when Mike and his gang decided to, well, let's make a clone type of thing. And they honed it and worked on it for a very long time. And he says, they make them in Connecticut, they probably do. High quality you will find of any guitar effects, double-sided PCBs, and all that sort of stuff. You know, you're paying for the quality. And I hope you saw the quality when you looked inside this thing, because that's what you're really buying. Sure, the sound's important. Of course it is. But you want something that's going to last, and a lot of guys never consider what's inside the box. Well, that might have been for millions of reasons. Maybe they just don't understand it, or they don't this, or they don't that. But the fact is, if you buy a pedal, you'd expect it to last a while. I've got pedals in the other room, are like 30 and 40 and 50 years old. I've got a wah going back to 1971. It still works. Now, for the features on this chorus pedal, you'll be surprised how many there are. And they're all features. They're all important. So let's mention a few, right? Now, at best, all I can do is read them to you. So you've got to put up with what I've got. Ready? Hey, just while we're at it, I hope you subscribed. Done that thumbs up thing and gone ding on the bell so that you can get notifications of when we do reviews of things like this, or things like this, or even things like this, or any of the other multitude of things that we've got in this studio. There are a whole pile of products. It's worth having a go, subscribing, and then Yeah, you'll never be out of kilter with what I've been doing. Anyway, enough of that. It says here, true bypass on and off. You know what that is. No loss of tone when it's off, and it's got a LED indicator. Very nice. Battery disconnected when the input cord's removed, or the power cable's inserted. Now that's a bit different, but there you go. Power jack for 9V DC adapter. There it is on the top. It's a barrel type and it's negative center, so just in case you didn't know. Boss style compatible. Boss. Mono chorus can handle up to 18V, but 15V is optimal. So you could play around with that a bit. Stereo doesn't exceed 12V, but this is a mono one, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, that looks pretty mono to me. Depth switch is replaced by a depth knob, allowing exact settings of depth. All analog is full chorus, original, 1024 stage, BBD chips used for high fidelity. Who's going to argue with any of this? Nobody. Strong, high quality steel box, it really is. For the guys that don't like me using these. Yeah. Sockets used for all chips. You've seen them. That was true. Easier replacement in the rare case of failure, it says. Well, it probably won't fail. Use a JRC 4558 op amp, as in the TS808 mod, in place of the generic 4558 chip. That's interesting stuff, isn't it? Lifetime guarantee except for damage from misuse or gorilla-like stomping. You got a gorilla in your band? I'm sure you have. He's probably it's either that bass guy. Hi Al. It's either that bass guy or the drummer. You know what they're like. Yeah, don't let them near it, right? Yeah, you'll notice the case is powder coated, and it says here, cool silk screened case. You can see it right now. It's there. Yeah, silk screen. Very nice. They put money behind getting that finished. You can tell. There's an optional depth toggle jack, it says here. Middle equals thin setting, up or down, deep or normal. We haven't got one of them. So what? But there is one. There's a stereo option. We've already said that. True stereo. Either output can be used in mono, but top is normal. Or whatever. True bypass stereo, a 3-pole double toggle. We haven't got one. That isn't the one we've got. If you mix both outputs of the stereo into mono, the effect will be lost. This is the same with most stereo choruses, like the Boss CE2, Ibanez CS9, which one's that? Arion SCH-1, etc. We've never heard of that last one, but there you go. So, yeah, it covers all the points that you'd want it to cover, really, this does. Well, at least that's what I think, don't you? What? You're an expert on choruses? Get out of here. And on these instructions down here, it does actually tell you how to make adjustments inside, even. And I'm sure if you get yourself in a bit of a bother, you could call them up and say, hey, I've got this chorus and I've screwed around with it. Do you think you could help me? I'm sure they would. But there is a little story to this one. Yeah. There always is, isn't there? Well, not actually. Let's bring it back a bit. Not actually this one, but one that was similar. Yeah, there I am, wandering around Dallas, as I do from time to time. Wandering around Dallas on that big road. And I went into Guitar Centre. Well, there's a number of them around there. I don't think any of them are that bad. I go in them all the time. And Samash. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, so there I am wandering around, looking at the pedals and looking at loads of stuff but buying nothing. You know how you are. Wandering around. Day off type of thing. And they had one of these in the little glass box in one of the Guitar Centres. So I'm looking at it, I think it's $249, I think it was. Something like that. So I said to the guy, oh, can you get that out for me, mate? Mate, you know, sort of. He thought I was Australian, probably. But I don't know. So he gets it out. Well, let me bring this one around. He gets it out. And you see that thing there? That's the power It was all smashed off and inside the unit. So I said to him, I said, what's with the power? Yes, you would. Oh, I didn't see that. Zoom. You can't have it. It's broke. It's got to be repaired. And that was that. So at that point, I gave up. I thought, well, I won't find another one of them kicking around willy-nilly. So I thought, well, back to the hotel. I'll have a look on the eBay, or Fleabay as some people call them. And there it was. Right there. Where it didn't talk about shipping to England and things like that. So I texted the guy and he said, yeah, I'll do that for you. It'll cost you this much. And I paid the money and took my choice. Bought this one because it looked perfect condition, which is what it is. Yeah, so that's the little story about Guitar Centre not making the sale. And this eBay guy, he was very helpful indeed. So that, my friends, is the little bit of history about how I ended up with one of these. I like chorus pedals. I've written a few tracks with chorus in it, and over the years, you know. And this one looked, well, honky-dory, so I bought it. Yeah. I paid the typical sort of price. Yeah, they're about 230 to 280 or something like that in dollars. Cost me a bit more because I had to pay for shipping to England and all that stuff, and the tax and all the stuff that goes with it. But I did buy it, and yeah, it's a real review. By the way, as well as this small, well, this big one, I'll call this a big one. They do make one about that size, if you get me. And it's a mini chorus, is that one. I don't know if it's newer or not, but those fetch typically, I'm looking on eBay down here on this thing here, £220. These are English prices, so they might be converted by Fleabay or whatever. We've got another one, both minis, them are 229. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, we'll come to the price. Just see what's available. Yeah. AnalogMan Clone Chorus. This one. Looks just the same. 563. That's pounds. Clone Chorus. Used. Well, that one also looks like this, and that's 311. And that's in Japan. Next one. Yeah, another one. £430 and 8 pence. Yeah, another one. They've got a bi-chorus one that's got the extra knobs, extra couple of knobs in there. That's £593 30 pence, again from Japan. There's one of these on in the United States for £235 and £30 shipping, which is similar price to what I paid. If you want the truth, as we look down here, there's another one, bi-chorus. Oh, that's the bi-chorus one. Standard clone chorus, 310. Another one, 484. Another one, 509. Yeah. Another one, 456. There's a lot of logic to this, particularly with the things like AnalogMan. Now, you probably know that I've already reviewed the King of Tone, or Cot pedal. It took me 4 years to get that pedal. I paid, I don't know, an equivalent to whatever they were at the time, $300 or $400. I think it's $399 or I forget the figure. But I have got a review of that. It's down in the text. So if you want to go and see the review of King of Tone, that's an interesting review. But this is an interesting review in itself. Remember, we will be playing this a little in a few minutes. Yeah. But I'm talking about price at the moment. Well, I paid in the low hundreds. I think it totaled about £300, something like that. Give or take, doesn't really matter exactly how much I paid, but I paid less than what they're going for on here. In general, not always the case, but in general. So that's a good thing. And if you think back to the King of Tone, yeah, how much are them fetching now? Well, let's just take a quick look. Well, King of Tone's going from sort of 695, 899, 749, 795. My God. 1306. These are all pounds, by the way. And so on and so forth. So the King of Tone, yeah, it's made money. I ordered a white one as well, which is a little bit out of the ordinary. And I did that purposely, really, because, yeah, because you can. So back to this one. If you're thinking about buying one of these and will it go up in value, like the King of Tone has, well, it could. It may not. But in either case, you've got a really, really good chorus pedal. Well, I've covered the warranties and things like that. So sort of lifetime warranties, providing you're not an idiot. There's a few of them around. Yeah, it's got the quality. It's cheap enough. What's not to like? Oh, you don't like paying hundreds for a chorus. Well, you don't want the best, don't you? You're picky about your sound, aren't you? And if you're not picky about your sound, go and buy one of them Chinese ones. Them will do for you. But if you are picky about your sound, and I don't know many guitarists that aren't, in reality, well, AnalogMan Chorus is probably for you. And if it's a bit big for you, they make that small one, remember. I've said everything I can. I've talked about the King of Tone and its prices and the prices of these things, and all you got left is to hear it. Now, you're not going to hear 10 minutes of playing, you're just getting a couple of little things that I used this for, well, not this one, but chorus for originally, and that's about it. So, yeah, enjoy. And don't forget to visit www.tonymackenzie.com, where there's lots of reviews that aren't on YouTube. Now, I've got 432 on YouTube with this one, but there are a pile of them that are on my internet site, and the information in there is all my own information, so it's all good stuff. It's not sponsored in any way. They're real reviews, and that's always a good thing. Yeah, if you like Marshall amps, some good ones on there. Anyway, that's it for now. You're going to hear it coming up, and until next time, get out of here.